Okay, so I got your guys' video, okay? And this is going to encapsulate basically all of existence and everything. So I asked somebody what I should do. I literally just made a video too, and somebody messaged me, just do something about everything and anything and everything. And I said, okay, that sounds simple enough. And then I started thinking about it, like, not much thinking, but I'm like, I could probably do it. So here it goes. I need a couple more diagrams, but basically how everything has an interdependence on everything else. If there was one star in the sky, that would be different. You would be marginally different. Maybe not a lot, but you would be marginally different. How can you prove it? Well, it's impossible to say you'd be the same. I think anybody would argue that's probably a fact. Now, there's a lot of speculation on this, and my concepts are very, very maybe hard to grasp, but you have to bear with me just for a second. Oh, geez. and by the way, my art is like not so good. I'm a much better painter than drawing, but I'm gonna make it work for you guys. I just need some blue. And obviously, you're going to be like, what do these images mean? But I'm going to have to explain them. So basically, when the sun is giving out light, right? The sun gives out light. That's everything. You want to see my amazing art? Ta-da! Here, can I get all that in there? Ta-da! Okay, what does this mean? So when the sun gives off light, right? This is the sun. I don't have a yellow, and I'm gonna have to pick up a yellow, or maybe it went somewhere, I don't know. But when the sun gives out light, photons are going out, right? We think, what we think is happening is light's coming out, but we don't know. There's no possible way to tell what is happening when the light is giving off sun. It's all nothing but darkness and empty space. There's nothing to bounce off of it until Mr. Planet comes. When Mr. Planet comes in the way of the sun, then we do get light, and there's a reaction, and then that's how we find out what light is, right? But without Earth, without Mr. Planet, we don't know anything. So that is an exact codependence of your entire existence. There's no way for you to tell if you are the same or the difference. The same goes for the yin-yang. It is the universal sign of what? The universe. It's not good and evil. It's not light and dark. It's all... This isn't even... It's hard to say, but this isn't even a two-dimensional object. This is actually, if you can bear with me, it looks like this. It's almost like a figure eight that's twisted together. And it's the inside and the outside of the universe. It's creation, it's destruction, it's everything. It's the same as the egg. It's the binary thought. When you say what came first, the chicken or the egg, there's no possible way for you to determine what came first, the chicken or the egg. Why? Because they set you up to have the thought process of having to pick what came first, the chicken or the egg. The answer, if you can think in quantums, it's 4 answers. In one universe, the egg doesn't exist, the chicken doesn't exist. In one universe, they both came at the same time. In one, the one came, and then the other came. Those are the only 4 possible outlets. Now, when you think about what came first, the chicken or the egg, scientists are going to tell you, well, obviously a chicken had to lay an egg. But then you want to look into what an egg is. I can't remember the name of it. It's there's a calcium carbon andrahazi. I can't remember the name of it, but essentially there's a carbon crystal that the egg makes its own eggshell. But then you're like, well, how'd the egg get there? It's because that's what's broken about the question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? It sets you up for destruction because you have no idea. Your brain can't process that. So you have to change the paradox of the question and enlighten yourself. You have to say anything come inside to out the egg, from inside outward, is going to be creation. Anything that comes from outside the egg to inward is destruction. And that's where the paradox of the chicken or the egg, that's a binary thought process that everyone gets stuck on. But you can think for 2 seconds, it's not always like that. And it goes down the root of everything. Mr. Tree here. Take Mr. Tree, right? So, the old saying, it's an argument. If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around, does it make a noise? Well, here's me. If I'm there, it's going to make a noise. Why? Because the relationship of sound is the motion in the air to the audio response in your ear. If there is no me, there won't be a sound, but there will be a vibration. But everything has to exist how you think it, how it is, the way it is. So right now, there's no egg in this universe. There's no egg anywhere in this room. There, ergo, in spite of everything that I just taught you, eggs don't exist in this universe until they exist. Now, now it does exist. So that's something to think about. I could end it in a final thought or a question, but I want you guys to think about it for the weekend. Do you guys think in binary? Do you guys think in life or death? Do you guys think in yes or no, time, no time? Because all of those don't exist if they don't exist. It's the same way that video games work. Video games work because everything in front of you is rendered and programmed, and you can see everything. There's no program for anything behind you. You have to believe it's there. For me, I believe it's there because I can see it. But when I'm not facing behind me doesn't exist. It doesn't. It can't possibly exist because